It's Monday, and we back. We ain't been around for a while, but we back. Big up John. He's got something to do. Sure he'll be tuning in though at some point. He'll be tuning in, but yeah, man. Let's get into it, man. Jeff, what are you telling me, my brother?
All good, my guy. Fighting flus and that, but all good now, man. I'm 85% good again.
Man, all these flus going about, man. Rash, what are you telling me, man?
All good, man. Alhamdulillah. Happy to be here. Another day, RBT. Lot to talk about. Well, not too much, but a lot to talk about in the way of Arsenal. So, ready to have it.
I mean, speaking about the flu and this COVID nonsense, what's going about and everything. The Prem had a chat today. All the main people from the Prem, which was good, to discuss should football still carry on during this COVID period. They're trying to ask people to get the boosters, and I think they said in the Premier League, 68% of players have had at least one or two jabs, and it's expected to go up to like 78%. So that's a 10% increase and stuff. What's your thoughts on should the Prem, until like obviously this new variant has actually hit a lot of teams? Do you think we should chill, wait till the new year and start again and go, play the games we need to play, or carry on as we're going? Arsenal ain't caught it. Why should we stop for you? Come on, someone say something, man.
It's kind of sick. I'll go. To me, I guess the responsible thing to do would be to suspend it until the new year, because teams are depleted in that. Like I think Chelsea had 2 goalies on the bench the other day. They got forced to play like a Kovacic, who's been out for near enough 2 months with COVID and injuries. So teams are like depleted. So I get why they're not doing it, because it's money.
Facts.
And they lost money last year, so they don't want to do it this year. But I guess the responsible decision would be to just suspend it. Like when we talk about the variant and whatnot, that's a whole nother story. I won't say too much on it because that's crossing over into non-football shit, innit?
Yeah, it's long.
But yeah, like the new year, it would make sense. Like if you're telling us it's this bad, even if half the players are like vaccinated or whatnot, then it would just make sense to suspend it and see what happens in the new year. But we know what it is at the end of the day.
That's what you said.
I think it should be a thing where the Premier League teams and their board and their coaches and their staff should be the ones who say whether they think it's a good idea to continue or not, and then the Premier League should then make a decision based on the majority. I don't know in regards to if them having 75% or 100% of the Premier League vaccinated, that doesn't mean that COVID isn't still going to be a factor or an issue, as long as it's as highly contagious as it is, and it can be caught by people who are vaccinated or not vaccinated. It's always going to be an issue, and that's when the Prem's going to have to, and everyone's going to have to make a decision to say, okay, is it a case where COVID is a thing where it requires a length of time off, or is it just taken as a normal sickness? If you're sick, you're sick. If you had the flu, you couldn't play, you can't play. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And should it be done on a basis on how a person feels, how healthy a person feels, rather than they've got it, so that's it, everyone around that person's off, and if they're healthy, I mean, the worry is that it affects people differently. Some people it affects them very badly, and some people it affects them like nothing. There's no effects. Same with the vaccination. Some people it affects them really badly, and sometimes it affects them in the way that it's supposed to. Do you know what I mean? So it's a hard one. As long as the people who have the knowledge, the scientists, don't know enough about the virus in itself in order to be making serious decisions, which unanimously they don't. I think it's just one of those ones that has to be played by ear and just based on severity of the cases and the effects upon the footballing staff.
Man, I hear that, man. I hear that. There's some teams I want to give credit to because you know how the new variant come out and everyone wants to start getting scared and stuff. I mean, I'm not trying to do this here, but the top 4 teams, I'm just saying the top 4 teams are taking the right protocols in terms of scheduling people to come back, do the right test to make sure they can play. Your Cities, your Liverpools, your Chelseas, and your Arsenals. Mm-hmm. You've got teams like United and Spurs who flipping get their whole team covered in that stuff. Do you know what I mean? And you know your Watfords and the other teams and stuff. Do you know what I mean? But the Premier League, what they should have done instead, because Arsenal's very smart with it. Obviously, people's been punished. Aubameyang, we will speak about Arsenal in a minute. But Aubameyang's been punished. He's playing the under 23s at the moment, for example, because he broke the COVID rules that was put in their place. That was quite new, I'm hearing. Because you know, City's got rules in. Yeah, go on,
I didn't know about this. So come on, explain, elaborate a little.
Yeah, so yeah, this is what I'm saying. So this is the stuff I'm hearing as well. So it might not all be 100%, but most teams, especially the top 4, what I'm hearing, has put in new rules for COVID. So you know, come back to train on this time, make sure you're at home by this time, do a test, and then send us a test by the thing to the office. Blah blah blah. All the top teams are doing this, and from what I'm hearing, United and Spurs and other teams were doing this as well. However, it wasn't as efficient. So it shows you that it's kind of working, and people do need to be punished if they're breaking the kind of rules, if that makes sense. But just to touch on one thing as well, man, I guess it's probably best to just quickly touch on Arsenal. Just do a quick run through on Arsenal. Get your thoughts for the game. But I'll go first and everything, man. I think Aubameyang being dropped is probably the best thing that's ever happened to Arsenal recently. I'll tell you that for free.
Don't be getting Jeff hyped. They'll be talking about it like that.
Not even like that. But you know, we've got to be real. West Ham was impressive. Leeds was expected. Am I right in saying that? Do you know what I mean? Like West Ham was expected. West Ham was impressive. Leeds were expected because without Aubameyang, really, he's one person who's guaranteed us goals and stuff. We knew that Martinelli's that kind of kid that can come on and do the business, yeah, for both games, and he's impressed. Then you've got people like, you know, Emma Smith-Rowe, who's been benched. But that's good to bring someone like that off the bench, someone fresh legs who intercepts the ball and scores a goal straight away. That's lovely to see. Are we the finished article? No, we're not. Are we getting there? Yes, we are, in my opinion, man. I know this is a circle. This is a circle that's going around. We're all going to big up Arteta now. Then when we lose to City in New Year's Day, oh, get him out of my club. I can't believe you lost to City. Man City, that all clubs to lose to. Do you get what I'm saying? So, what's your boys' thoughts on it? I feel like we haven't done that for a while. We ain't give Arsenal a bit of praise. So we'll do it at the end of this conversation because we're having a conversation today. It's not really, you know, debating on it. We're having a conversation. But I feel like we should do a player ratings, man. I don't know about you, but I think just from that game, I think we should touch on player ratings, man. I feel like we should do it. And I feel like we should do a player ratings for City as well, if that's okay with you guys as well. Because we'll touch on them one at a time. Boys, anyone wants to go first? Touch on Arsenal for me, man. Tell me what you thought in the last couple of games. All right. Tell me what you think we're going, man. Tell me what you think you're going, man. That's what I want to hear.
So let's talk about the West Ham game. So
yeah,
when we was previewing that game beforehand, we were saying, look, I said I put down that it's going to be a draw, but something in me telling me that we're going to get the victory. I don't know what it is, but I think we're going to get the victory, but I'm not going to do that again, you know? But when we saw that Aubameyang had been dropped and Lacazette was going to start, I mean, you see the starting lineup, it was a good starting lineup. And you know what? Forget the reason why Aubameyang was dropped, because to me it's not transparent. I don't know the real reasons why. We're hearing bits and bobs of little bits of information. So until it's clear, I haven't got an opinion. I just knows what's happened. The boss has said that he's done some things that has made him have to be stripped of his captaincy, and he can't play the games.
Is this a good thing though? Because obviously.
Pick up Shaden in the place. Go ahead.
Pick up Shaden. But look at this comment here. Pretty much saying what we've been thinking. It's given. He didn't mention Martinelli, but Laka. Bringing Laka being the main man. I'm just saying, boys. I'm just saying. I know we don't know the full reasons, but him being dropped are we not seeing any positivities in terms of how we're playing? Attacking wise, we're getting criticised for because defensively we've been okay. Attacking wise, it's not been okay. So tell me, sorry, Rash, tell me about that.
Well, yeah, that's the point. Lacazette brings more in the attack, in the build up, and he brings more to the team in the gameplay throughout the 90 minutes. Um, Aubameyang, he is a finisher. That's what he does. And really, when he's in the centre forward position, he can afford to be a bit lazy, only go for balls that are coming up towards him, and so on. When they got him out on the left, he has to do a little bit more work, but he doesn't do that. He can't do that. That's not in his game. And we understand that about him. And the fact that he's expected to do that, or if people are expecting him to do that, is silly. So, what I say is, if you're not being effective in your position and you're not helping the play, then there's no point in you being in the game. Yeah. And if someone else can be more effective in that position and bring a bit more impact to the game and have a bit more chemistry with the lads, then he should go there. And Lacazette is that guy. He's got a good understanding and of play and chemistry with the younger lads that are coming through. They bounce off each other. They respect him, and he's vocal. He puts himself about and he works hard. So he's leading by example. And in reality, it should have been him a while ago. Maybe there was something going on between him and Arteta because he wasn't even getting games as well. And Ketia was getting games before him, ahead of him, should I say, rather. So it just seems like now that him and the manager are on a level where they have a understanding and he's been asked to fulfill a role, he's doing it brilliantly. I think he always does put a shift in, but you're just seeing a little bit more now. You're seeing a bit more to his game because everyone has to look to him. He's the striker now. Yeah, Aubameyang's on the sideline. Should Aubameyang have been sidelined? I think based on performance, he should have been. He's not rubbish, but he hasn't been performing. So let someone else have a chance who's got a bit more energy and a little bit more fight in them right now. So yeah, I think Lacazette is definitely the guy to be in that position right now. I think the manager took a risk and it's paid off. But it's paid off brilliantly. That result against West Ham is pivotal to us finishing in a high position for this season. We've got to be able to beat teams like that. Do you know what I mean? Ones that are also challenging for the same positions that we are as well, to let them know there's a bit of fight in the squad still. So I think it was a good performance, and I think as long as the boys are respecting the game, don't disrespect the game by switching off, by thinking that you've done enough. Do you know what I mean? And that you're there. But it seems like they're coming out with every game respecting the game, respecting their opposition and knowing that they've got a job to do. And they understand what they have to do. The message is clear and we can actually see it when we're watching it as well. It's good to see. Finally, it's good to see. But yeah, that's what I'm going to say on that take. But in regards to the game, I think we can go through it a little bit more. I know Jeff has got lots to say on that.
Go on, Jeff.
I don't even know if I do, but the West Ham game, don't get me wrong, it was a good account of ourselves. We did good. Kept up the intensity the whole game, there was a few like hairy moments here and there where West Ham probably could have got something out of it. But all in all, it was one of our best. No, that's probably our best display of the season. I'd say.
I'd say that.
I'd say that as well.
Yeah, because I guess in other games, we've been good for 50, 60 minutes and we kind of switched off. But kind of like the fluidity in attack was really, really good to see. Don't get me wrong, I'm an Aubameyang fan, but Lacazette definitely brings more to the game. Like, we're never going to say you don't. Like, Aubameyang is a goal scorer. Lacazette is more of a link man. And it showed, like, that first goal for Martinelli, nice weight on that pass and great finish. It's good to see Martinelli back amongst the goals and playing well, just aside from the goals, just playing well. Because, points is like, Arsenal fans would be like, oh, what's he even doing here? Like, should he be here, etc., etc. But sometimes it's things just happen, man. Like, he's had a very, very stop-start Arsenal career. So 1 minute he's on fire, then he'll go and have like an ACL injury or something like that. Then he's off his feet for 3-4 months. Then he might play for 1 or 2 games. Then he's dropped again. And he's kind of had to earn his respect and place in that Arsenal team. So it's good to see him take his chance. Saka seems to be like more the Saka of last season before Christmas, which is good to see. He's terrorizing anyone he's playing against at this moment in time. So yeah, he gave who's that, the West Ham left back that game? I can't even remember. It wasn't Cresswell. Who was it? Masuaku. He gave Masuaku a torrid time.
Oh, it's horrible for him.
Yeah, he gave him like they tried like 4 hours. Masuaku, Lanzini, they tried, but Saka was winning the battle every time, like literally every time. So really well done to him. It's good to see him back in form, and the guy who probably won't get credit from everyone, but I think Odegaard's been really, really, really good in these last 2 games. So quietly, like it's not necessarily the standout because there's probably been more standouts in the 2 displays, especially, but just the intelligence of when to play a pass and where to play a pass is, I think, what we've been missing at camp. Like don't get me wrong, there's more explosive players and maybe better to watch all in all, but just that decision making in the final third is very, very important. And he's like, there's plenty of little touches where Declan Rice and Souček couldn't really get near Odegaard for 60 minutes. I thought he was even unlucky to come off in that game. I understand it because it's a fight for places, so you're not guaranteed your place anymore, which is good. I like that too. But he played really, really well. Xhaka helps and hurts Arsenal all at the same time. Like when he's not playing, you want him. Like in our current squad, you would want him to play just because he fits the system better. Like when Xhaka plays, Tierney plays better. It's not a coincidence. Like Tierney attacks much better when Xhaka's present because he's got defensive cover and he doesn't have to over defend. He can rely on attacking and being in the right areas going forward. And he did that very, very well in that game too. And Xhaka played, I thought Partey did well as well in that West Ham game.
Can I just jump in there?
Yeah, go ahead.
How important has it been Partey putting in good performances or playing to a standard of play similar to what we know you have? How important do you think it's been in the last few games for Arsenal?
It's very important because he's the one who finds those attacking players. Like, don't get me wrong, they're doing their own dirty work and nicking the ball off the opposition team. But a lot of those times when Partey gets it, he's finding those players. So whether it goes to Martinelli and Saka and they get a chance to run at their guy, it comes from deeper. So it's good that he's been able to get on the ball and play the forward passes, which we know he can do.
Because one of the things that I've enjoyed seeing him recently is picking up the ball in our box at the end of our box and quickly driving it straight up to the halfway line, and then bringing the rest of the team up to him, cutting it back, waiting for everyone to get bang, and then putting a good ball through so that the attack can continue. And I think that's what was expected of him a long time ago, but we haven't been able to see that sort of power from him, and it's really good to see.
Yeah, see, I think we see it, but then we just don't see it consistently. Like he'll do it, and then he just won't do it. Like it's even like his like account of his time at Arsenal kind of explains where he thinks he's been. He said 4, so he knows there's a bigger ceiling to go. And then the past few games, it's like kind of been like, all right, this looks like more like the Partey of Atletico. The trick now is, can you consistently do it? African Nations doesn't help because he has to go to African Cup of Nations if it's on. We still don't know if it's fully on. But if he can get some form together and like stay fit, then we're finally getting closer to the party we bought, in my opinion. I
want to jump in that Partey thing, man. I also want to say something about something else, but Partey for me, has been ideal to watch against that West Ham and Leeds recently. I say this because his footballing brain comes from off the ball as well. I'm not sure if you see when Ben White grabs the ball and he goes, he just gives him the eye contact, I'm going for a run. Partey always fills in right there where Ben White's meant to be, and when Ben White loses the ball, because he's done it twice, who intercepts and cleans up? Partey. He's He's man off the ball. I don't see Xhaka doing that. But now I want to jump into Xhaka quickly. I want to apologize for something. Tierney. Because Xhaka has saved Tierney, bro. Xhaka has proper saved Tierney, bro. I'm not going to lie to you. So with Tierney, my thing was too much of this attacking, not enough of filling in. With Xhaka filling in that gap here and Tierney doing his thing, Tierney looks, I'm not even going to say it because I'll get slaughtered, but I'm going to say he looks class. I'm going to say class. I don't want to say the next thing up because I'll get slaughtered. But with Tierney, yeah, I just want to apologize because I got a lot of back and forth between me and Jeff with Tavares, and I'm saying Tavares should be up there, man. He does both. Tavares did do both. However, Tavares hasn't played with Xhaka. Do you know what I'm saying? Someone who can fill in and knows what to do in that position. He was playing with Partey and the other fella. What's the young fella?
Lokonga.
And Lokonga never did that. There was always gaps there, and I'm always like, fuck's sake, Tierney. But Xhaka complements Tierney, and Tierney complements Xhaka, and that's perfect to see. Same way Partey probably complements Tommy, complements Ben White. Like the team's complementing each other is what I'm trying to say. That's what I think here. The team Mikel keeps playing, even though we lost to Everton with that team that we played initially, I think that's our best 11, in my opinion, at the moment in terms of inform and productivity. However, leaving that Emil Smith role was kind of like bad, man. But in terms of the setup and the super sub like him coming on, you're kind of laughing. Do you know what I mean?
Did you say bad, man?
See, and this is what I was gonna say because like I'm a Emil Smith Rowe fan. I think he's a quality player, and I think we've got a lot to see from him in his career. But this is the thing. It seems like there is a certain system that's been created here, and it needs everyone to do what they have to do in that role in order for it to move successfully. And I find that when Odegaard is on the pitch from the beginning of the game, there's a lot more energy and he has a lot more presence in his position and on the pitch as well. He puts himself about. He's involved in the game. He puts through great balls. He's showing up every other second in the game. But when Emil Smith Rowe is playing from the start, he has patches where you'll see him and then patches where you won't see him. You won't even remember he's on the pitch, but then he'll have patches where he'll do a moment of skill again at something that's quality, but then you might not see him again, and then he'll have a nice 20 minutes where he might work really hard, but then he'll die out again. That can be done 60 minutes on, because you can put everything into that 20 minutes. Do you understand? Or half an hour or 20 minutes and then chill, have a little bit of a resting periods in between. Do you know what I mean? But it's just like, I think it's working because he's coming off the bench and he's an engine, okay, and he's got quality and he's scoring goals. When he comes onto the pitch, he brings Martinelli and Saka back to life because it's at a time of the game where they might be coming down now. He comes onto the pitch, they're back to life again. They start connecting, passing balls again. Goal scored. You know what I mean? And then when he scores, it's like, okay, the others are like, yeah, I want to score as well again. I'm on it again. Do you know what I mean? And it's just really good to see. I think Arteta's got something here. I'm not gonna say he's finally got the Arsenal team playing the way that he wants to or that they should be in order to challenge for anything competitively, but I think he's onto something. I think it's finally clicking, and I think the team are aware that it's finally clicking as well, and you can see that they're enjoying their ball.
It's great to see. I think though, like it's just gonna be flashes, man. Like I'm not taking like whilst these two games are again great indications. There were indications before, so I'm not over into it yet because it's still a young team, man. Like whilst this looks like it's our most fluid four at the moment, attacking wise, that might change. Like it's a great problem to have though. Like Smith Rowe playing well off the bench, he will get his start again. Like this, it's not gonna be where he's just dropped. Like Martinelli's playing well, Odegaard's been great, Saka's been great, Lacazette's been great. It could all switch, which is great. I think that's the best problem you would want as a manager, that all of your players want to play, are energetic young players. And at this point, like the Aubameyang thing, we don't know where it is. Like we don't know. Like he could he could choose and decide to fight for his place. And you see him like he's still supporting like Martinelli and all of that, like giving him,
But,
hailing him up for his goals.
but even
Which
that is that the difference, Jeff and
what's up?
like the players wanting to play? Does it look like that they finally were bought into the manager's ideas and they actually want to play for the manager? Because even after the whole Aubameyang situation, you'd think you're worried because
Mm,
of Arsenal's mentality in the past. Okay, what does this mean? Are they
mm.
going to be holding onto his shirt and oh, we can't do it now? Aubameyang's not here,
Gone.
even though
Yeah,
he hasn't been here. Like, what Arsenal are we going to get? And they've kind of showed that they've got a different type of mentality and that they're willing to not just play football, but play football well and show that they
That's
are happy doing it.
that's my thing. Like it's kind of been this like the argument between Arteta in and Arteta out. It's you see certain things like or like to me, I see certain things and like I like it. Like when you hear Arteta took away the office in Emirates and sat in front of the players, like so he's approachable. Stuff like that means you're trying to bring back the culture into the club. That's
facts.
why even we've had this discussion with even like John, as cause he's not necessarily Arteta in, he's not the biggest fan, which is cool. But I just think that there's things that are being done which help the club in the long term, which you might not see straight away. So
Mm,
whilst you might have question marks over the immediate football, we say things that are West Ham's football just looks to click. That's for 15, 14 games. Like, who's to say West Ham are going to be in the top four, top five in 2 months? We just don't know. Like,
true.
especially when they're progressing in Europa League or whatnot. We don't have any Europa League or anything to focus on. So this is the best time to get our things clicking. So it's don't get me wrong, it's still a process. Like I still think top six is a realistic target. Not to say we can't get a top four or fifth or whatever. It's all possible. But things just are so you can starting to see some things coming to fruition, or I am. So hopefully by the end of the season it's consistent. But yeah, like Jello, you go, bro.
Yeah, that's. I'm happy you brought it up, man. I'm happy you brought up and the table wise because this is kind of what I wanted to get at because I kind of understood the process. I think Jeff, you kind of understood it, and Rash, I think you kind of understood the process. But however, Rash was still on the terms of this guy doesn't know what he's doing. Now, Rash, my question to you is: we've got 3 games. This is just directed to you, yeah. I just want to see where you sit quickly. With Norwich, we got Norwich, then we got Wolves, and then we got City, right? With Norwich, if we beat Norwich, draw against Wolves, and lose to City, where do you stand with Mikel?
Yeah, I've never really said, oh, I want him out, I want him out, and I've never really said, hey, I want him in. I've always just kind of been on the fence with Miguel. I've always thought the job was too big for him, but it was too big for him if he had to deal with the players that he inherited, and if he had to play and his role at Arsenal was the same as like an Emery or something like that. I thought, no, he's not going to be able to manage it. But the board have backed him in a way as saying that whoever he wants to get rid of, he's got their support. Whoever he wants them to come in, he's got their support. And that I think has been very important because they've shown a lot of support from the above towards him. And that alone, see the players seeing this, that okay, look, this guy is cool, but he's actually got the power just to ship man out if we're not buying into this thing. So we have to be sure, like, are we gonna play games here or are we just gonna see what we can do?
Yeah,
And he's managed to change the mentality there. And anyone who's managed to change a mentality at Arsenal needs to be congratulated a little bit because I'm seeing a mentality and a little bit of fight or an attitude from the team that has been missing for a long time. And I'm not gonna say where it's back or anything like that, but I'm just witnessing little bits, little things here that little bits shows of character, and that has definitely come from the manager's way of dealing with things and what he has brought to the club. And at first I couldn't see it and I wasn't into it. I could see that it would be something good long term, but I didn't think it was going to be something that I'll be able to see so soon.
Yeah.
So he has to have his plaudits, and you have to congratulate him and say, like, Arsenal's come a long way from being at the bottom of the league and us writing them off to being in the top four, and not just getting into the top four, but having another game and cementing yourself there for at least a 2-game period because
Yeah.
you won both of your games. I mean, how many of us thought that Arsenal was probably, if they did win one game, that they was going to draw or lose the next? You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
the fact that they've had 3 wins in a row, I think it is, or was it? Is it? No,
Three.
is it 3?
Southampton,
Something like
West Ham, Leeds.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah. So 3 wins in a row. It's good, and it's good character that they've built on that, and the manager has to get credit for keeping them at that mentality, keeping them working hard at training, and being able to execute that style onto the pitch. It's just good to see. It's just nice to see information just flowing the way that it should at an
Yeah.
Arsenal side. You know what I mean? So I'm still. I want to wait and see. I think he's
Yeah.
done well. I think he's done well. Do you know what I
Good.
mean? And I have to say, well done, Arteta. You've done well. But I still want to wait and see what is coming of this, because it still might be a thing is that we might be able to get a really good manager and him just play in the background and say, look, this is what this is the style that we actually want to achieve eventually. You can help us get there quicker. Bad.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it might be that, and he just be the guy in the background. Who knows? But let's just see. Let's just see.
So similar question to you, Jeff. How long for you, if Arsenal win against Norwich, draw against Wolves, and then loses against City, how long do you have an argument in the chat with Adam, who wants Mikel out?
20 minutes into City.
Listen, if we listen. If we had Pep, yeah, we'd be having conversations with Adam. Yeah, because he'll be wanting to get Pep out. Yeah,
and it's not. I'm not even just even single out Adam. That's just the Arsenal fan way, man.
That's
like,
right. It is.
I'm having this Arsenal discussion long before our group chat. Long before. Like, I was one of the Wenger in guys, and I've been having this discussion probably since 2010. Some of my friends stopped supporting Arsenal, went to Man City for a bit because they wanted to win something.
Bruv,
That's just the
way. And that's what it is. Arsenal fan base are a sport fan base, and the reason why they're sport is because we went for a very successful period where it's not just that we was winning trophies and titles and so forth like that, but the style of play changed the entire English football totally. Yeah, it changed the world. Yeah. It was only Arsenal and Barcelona really that was kicking ball like that. Do you know what I mean? So we were spoiled. When we think of Arsenal glory days, it's so elite. And so where we are now, we're just so far away from it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So do you understand? So our fan base, we're just
reality, man.
But our fan base is like, it's like spoiled kids. They're used to something for so long, or they're used to getting something that when they finally have to face a little bit of hardship, they don't appreciate the struggle that Liverpool fans went through, or appreciate the struggle that Man City fans went through, or Chelsea fans. Chelsea was no one for ages. Do you know what I mean? Them fans didn't witness nothing for years. Look at Tottenham fans; they still ain't witnessed nothing. So it's like, do you know what I mean?
So, I think it's just the difference between fanaticism and realism. This is the difference. Like, if you're a fanatic, you're a fan, you want the best for the team, but you're also quick to say the other side because you're like, the team mesmerize you. So whatever they do, it's just like, this ain't working, I'll sack him. Now it's working again. Yeah, he looks good. Like, that's why AFTV just looks so mad to me, and I never watch it. Like, because it's like 1 minute the same guy. I call them characters because to me they are. And the same character from last week is saying this and ripping the team, and then the next week he's saying this. It's like, bro, like, I'm cool. Like, I can't watch that kind of stuff, man. I just like logical thinking. Like, it's probably too much to ask because it's football in it, so it's not really a logical game. But just like, I'm not on it, man. So there's certain things I'm just never gonna watch. So like, I get it. Don't get me wrong. Like, this is Like, I just think this is gonna be a process. Like, there's gonna be highs this season. Like, I've said it many times this season already. Like, there's gonna be moments where we look at our team and we like, raw. Like, these last 2 games, we probably created about 40 chances, all in all. It's like 20 chances a game. I might be wrong, but West Ham and Leeds, it's been fluent. Like, the chances of creations have been great, but there's going to be games, and it could be in 3 games time where this isn't the case. Yeah. So it's just going to be a roller coaster, man. So there's literally going to be times where it's good and times where it's bad. This team's average age is like 23 years of age. Partey, Aubameyang is the oldest with 32. Lacazette's probably second oldest at like 30. And then it's Partey and Xhaka are both like 29. The rest are 23-year-old. Like, our centre backs, don't get me wrong, Ben White and Gabriel are looking like a very nice partnership. I like it. They are. I like it a lot. And then Tomiyasu next to him.
Jeez.
They are 23 years of age.
Like Tomiyasu, yo.
Yeah, that's the unsung hero for me. But that's like those 3. Like, you're gonna see mistakes from them. Like, but Ben White first game was getting crucified. He was getting crucified before he even stepped on the pitch because it's like 50 mil. Ben White.
Do you remember when Rashford? That's what
then you see the video loop of Rashford cornering him. Rashford was lighting him up. We lit him up like 3 times in like the same goal. And it was nasty. Don't get me wrong, but Rashford's violated a lot of men. Like, people forget that too. But like, it's gonna take, like, Ben White got crucified then he got crucified for losing headers against Ivan Toney. Then 3 games later, you realize Ivan Toney ain't for play. He went against Virgil van Dijk and gave him problems all game. So it's not a game. But these players, like, they're great. Don't get me wrong. Like, Ramsdale is yet to make a mistake for Arsenal, like a real costly one. It's coming though. So the same way everyone's saying that Ramsdale was
didn't he? Didn't he do one? I think he did do one, but
not that led to a goal. Not that led to a goal. I've looked at the stats.
Like, it's not like even there's not like a serious, like concrete. You can say this is a goalie error,
like Leno used to do.
Like Leno's made some, but I think like Ramsdale's one, like the one you could say is that the Liverpool downward header was a Jota, and that's. I don't know if that's an error. To me, that's not. Like, it's a small thing which, as a goalie, you'd say I could do better. Is it a concrete error? No. But Ramsdale is going to make mistakes too. Like, we're saying that he's an amazing goalkeeper. No, he looks really good. Don't get me wrong. He looks really good. Outside of goalkeeping even, which sounds crazy, but the vocal side and even the fact that we can go home and he's not panicky on the ball, he plays the right pass. I like all of those aspects. And that's the part that looks really, really good to me. Don't get me wrong, he's a very, very good shot stopper. He's good in the air, all of that. But there's those things are the things I like. But that's gonna take time too. Like, he's gonna make errors. Like, even a lot of the reason of why we picked him is because of how he responds to errors. Like, I think Arteta was breaking down his videos before they signed him and was like, all right, how does this guy respond when errors are made?
Yeah, does he still put in a good shift? Does he still work hard up until the end of the 90?
Does his head go down? Because that's the thing, I think, with which I don't know if they'll get their credit, Arteta and Edu, but they should if the end of the season, if all of these signings do turn out the way that I think that they will turn out, in terms of embedding a new culture in Arsenal. Ben White is another one. He makes mistakes and don't get his head down because he's got that self-belief. Tomiyasu is just a dependable right back, which we haven't had for
Man, every time you mention that guy's name, I just smile, bro.
Bro, we haven't had actually, I wouldn't say 15 years because I actually didn't mind Eboué, but he still had that recklessness about him. But we haven't had a dependable right back, maybe since Sanyo, where you can leave him there and know that you're comfortable. Yeah. Tomiyasu doesn't really get smoked. Like, man don't really take him on like that. Like the Sanchos and that had a hard time against him.
And even when he does get beaten, it's hard work. Work to beat that guy.
He's been cornered, don't get me wrong, but the Brighton guy, Cucurella, who's giving people problems this year. Cucurella was on his bumper.
That was his first. That was his real introduction to a real Prem game in my eyes. For that one. And ever since that, but as you're talking about character, how do you deal with calamity taking a hard game, taking a hardship there,
Mhm.
how you bounce back. He shows it. He showed it. He's come back better. His positional play is much better. His awareness is much better.
That's
His
what I'm
thoughts
saying.
on the ball. When he play,
Yeah.
it just shows. Yeah, you're right. The new culture at Arsenal, if it comes through, is good. Boy,
That's it. And we see Saka. Like we know about Saka, how he deals with his get back. Just in the summer, they were cornering him. He's back.
Yeah.
He's playing. He's
smiling.
20. Like that's the thing. These things there. That's
20.
those. That's what I'm saying. 20 years of age. Like, you can't like.
Young, man,
This boy
young.
still needs time. He looks great. Don't get me wrong. Great,
Young.
but he's gonna need time. Like he's still learning himself. We still don't know his best position. All now. It's been 2 years. I don't know his best position. I don't know whether it's left or right. I don't know.
But that's good.
Yeah, it's
That's
good. It's just a
that's good.
process, isn't it? But the football fit side of things, like we've had this discussion so many times already, but I think like the football side of things, where we say like the chance creation wasn't good at a point and it looks better now, I think these are all just steps. Like when everyone's got the same culture and they want to play for the club and they want to win the ball back and all of those little things, it makes the football better automatically. So I think the Arsenal football DNA, I think it will always be there. Even in our worst spells as a club, when we've had Bentner and them, man, we've played ball. But where's that really got us? Because we all know about that fragile Arsenal mentality. Like, and like Wenger always had this, gave us the ability to just play. But at some point, that was also not the thing we liked, because it was like, oh, we're just playing football, but then we go to a team who matches us and is physical, and we're getting bossed, like we're getting bullied. So this like mesh of playing football and just knowing when to fight, like Martinelli being injured and Arteta rolling him back on the pitch. Those are the kind of things which change Arsenal, which you wouldn't recognize it straight away. But a player before, like Martin, we'd have stayed out there and then we would have been down to 10. We'd have been 1-0 in like the 85th minute. And now West Ham go and score with 10 men. But you need to do those kind of things. They break up the game.
There's a toughness about Arteta that I'm seeing, that I'm witnessing. You must have seen it as well, man. Jay, like I know that's your guy. You must have seen it, bro.
He don't play.
He doesn't play, bro. Like he's a bad boy behind those doors,
bro. Isn't that what you want though? Because you ain't gonna listen to a manager that says lets you do what you want. There needs to be some sort of authority put into play. And I've said that for the longest. I think he tried to do the similar thing that Jeff was talking about in the Spurs game when we lost 2-1, when Partey got injured, and he kept getting injured. That was last year at some point. And he tried to push him back on the pitch. He's like, no, just go back and defend or go on the floor or something. You know, he's trying to
on the floor on the pitch.
The funny thing is, I think that's what Jeff mentioned it. Like you would see the team deteriorate. Like it will go down once a player like Aubameyang has been told off or been dropped. Whoever, as we said, we don't really know, but we know that he's been left out of the team. Normally, what I'll tell you is like, it's a cool dude. Why are you doing that to my man? I'm gonna tell you this. When we used to work together, and if one of the person from our team used to get like something happened, got in trouble, we were like, we'll fend for him, right? We'll fend for them. Like that's bad man. Do you know what I mean? However, with this team, you can say, no, man, we see the bigger picture. We believe in this manager. We believe in the philosophy we've got in hand, and we believe in what he's trying to do. And when you believe in something, there's respect there. They respect Arteta, man. And you know, for all the Arsenal fan haters who don't like him, who want him out, and to be fair, I don't blame them because you know he's fresh, he's new. But surely you can see there's something within this team and something within him that's working. So yeah, man, I love how hard he is. I mean, no homo shit. I mean, pause. Damn, that didn't sound right.
Man.
Anyway, let's go to player ratings. Let's go to player ratings, man. Let's go to player ratings.
Yeah. For which game? You need to take that off. That was wild. That was a wild ending still.
I was like, yo, let's get out of here. Player ratings.
Wait, which game? Which
I'd like
game?
to do one of these.
Where's this guy? Oh, bro, where's this guy going?
Let's do Leeds, man. No point in West Ham was about a while ago. Leeds is fair, 4-1. Let's start and go first. Jeff Ramsdale conceded one, not his fault. It was a penalty, but we would like to see him stop a penalty. But however, other than that, played well. But you tell me what rating you're giving him, man.
Where are we starting with? Ramsdale, yeah?
Ramsdale, man.
Against Leeds, not far off his. I'll probably go with like a 6. So he didn't have much to do. When the ball goes back to him, he's comfortable on the ball. I like to see it. He picks out very good passes. Doesn't look rattled when the ball goes back to him. But yeah, in that game, no disrespect to Leeds, but they were atrocious and have been for a few games. So they just need their players back, like Phillips and Bamford and that.
I'm happy you said 6 because against a team like Liverpool, City, Man United, where they got proper goal scorers, then if he only concede 1, then you can go up a bit in it. But when you're looking at a team like Leeds, who ain't really got nothing other than Rafinha, can't really give him a high rating in it. So I respect that still, man. That's an average game for him. That was an average performance for him, man. He does what he does, you know. He does what it says on the tin. Rash, your boy that makes you smile.
Pause on that too. Jesus, that was reckless, bro.
Paul,
that's a little, man.
This guy's losing it.
I don't know who has been hanging around with him in the last week or so.
I'm gonna
come back, my brother. Come back.
Okay, we're not the guy that makes you smile. The guy that makes you happy. The guy that makes you happy.
It's all right, dude. It's all right. Chill.
You know what? You know, long time.
It's all right. Tommy asked me.
Long time. I've been wanting to leave this show. Long time.
That comes back once every 6 months. He's gone.
He bounced with his bussy. You and your bussy go take your ass somewhere else. Anyway, so
that's funny.
Tomiyasu, yeah, like how the guy plays very. But I gotta watch my words now, man. Very brilliant. That's all I can say because of you, mate. No pause. But no needed. But yeah, man. So yeah, but I think Tomiyasu, he deserves at least for the Leeds game. I mean, he did shut down a lot of play. I preferred him in the West Ham game because he had a lot more against him and a lot more to do. But at the Leeds game again, he was another solid performance. I'd say a 7.
Flash. Oh, because I'm gonna remind you of something. He actually didn't come off. He came off, and then Cedric Suarez came on. Then we conceded, so kind of was a clean sheet at 3-0 for him.
Yeah. I wouldn't even blame him, even if it was a clean sheet, because it doesn't ever really come from those channels when
keep up his side. Keep up his side, though. That's what to do.
That obviously it was kind of funny to see Cedric. Actually, I forgot he was at the club, but yeah, we move.
He said 7. I think that's warranted. I think a 7's right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll do my guy Ben White. With the way this crook's moving, I'm gonna call him Ben Cocaine, man. He's out there, man. He's a drugging himself to get cocaine. He's so okay. Let's go.
It's nuts.
I'm gonna give him a 6 because I'm gonna give him a 6 because I feel like he played well, but that slap tackle in the box was a bit. Do you know what I mean? That was a bit mad.
It was a bit mad.
Bad decision, right? At first, I don't know about you boys, but I thought the way Ramsdale came out against the ref when he called the pen, I thought he was clean. He got it. Like I thought,
I took one look at it. I just shook my head. I said, "Look at these guys trying to put one over the ref."
That was something for the AstroTurf, bro. I swear to God, we done that a couple of the slide, take a man out straight, miss the ball. Oops. Act like you got the ball. It was, to me, I saw that straight away, but I didn't think it was as bad as when I saw the replay. I was like, "Oh shit, you didn't get none of the ball." I thought you got a little piece of it before, but you got none of it. It was a bit wild.
That was funny, man.
Yeah, it was wild. So I'm gonna go with 6. It was an average game for him. It was a good game for him, I'd say. However, I know he had a bit of beef with Rafinha during the game as well, and another man they kept stepping to him. That already shows that they were in his pocket and he was in their head. But that silly mistake's got to take your point down from being good. You've got to go back to an average performance because you gave away a goal. So I'm going to go 6. Jeff, Gabriel.
Gabriel probably gets a 7 from me. Missed at this moment. He's just consistent, man, which is good. Like, I think first season was just like, all right, this guy, he looks good, but is he gonna be one of them man who always just wants to fight? Just
Yeah,
wants to show he's hella strong, and he's showing that I can do that, but I can play too. Like his passing out from defense has been great, really, really, really good. So don't be surprised if you start seeing him linked with great teams by the end of the season, because it's gonna happen. He's a 7.
Do you remember that game where we was like, he's gonna have one bad game? It was against Southampton. I think we lost when Walcott done him, and he went in for the tackle and he got a red card and was like, "Yep, we knew it was coming. He's gonna lose his head." And I think he was playing with David Luiz, and that was last season. Do you guys remember that game against Southampton? And he bad performance.
He had a couple of those. Like even Salah, like he tried to wait Salah, and Salah being Salah just looked at him and just said, "All right, thank you."
He had a good few bad performances last season. I was on him.
But just a lot of potential. You could always see it, but you're just like, all right, maybe this guy's not under the right tutelage. Like David Luiz is a reckless boy. Reckless. So maybe you just need your own time to learn yourself and learn the league. And
then both being Brazilian might have been a bit of a bad thing. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Because them man, you just imagine them man, they're just talking and they're like, I don't listen to this guy. He don't know nothing. He used to be a sub. He didn't even used to start the games. And like,
part of the reason I think that man had to go. Like,
yeah.
I'm trying to say, hey, you. I know you're helping, but you're hurting at the same time. Get out. Get out.
Yeah, bro. Because remember we used to hear about this circle within the changing room. That's like some circle of influence. Can't really test, man. You know it was Luiz and them, man. So
it was
reckless boys, man. The man never been in the Prem for 12 years and that, bro. So, I mean, seven for Gabriel for me, man.
That's fair. Rash,
Tierney, man, I'm really happy with Tierney. You know, he was good defensively. He was good attacking as well. And it's not just the fact that he was good attacking. One of the problems that we've had with Tierney is that he just whips the ball in. It doesn't matter who's in the box. He just whips it in. It's a good ball, but who's there to header it or who's there to be on the end of it? No one. Good. He actually stops now, bruv, and waits, sees a man and picks a man out. And it's excellent. When you see, just like he picks a man out, it's as good as anyone else on the pitch when he does it. Through both games, I think he's warranted an 8 performance for both games. I think he's really good, man. He got an assist as well in the game, didn't he? I think didn't he get an assist?
At West Ham, he got an assist for Odegaard's header.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. That's right. It was the West Ham game. But yeah, man, I'm just liking how he plays. It's like he's seen, okay, the manager is willing to drop me for Tavares, who to me still has a lot to work on his game. So if that was me and I was Tierney, who's supposed to be, future captain of Arsenal and a leader of men, as FIFA like to say, do you know what I'm trying to say? He must have been thinking, he must have been thinking to himself, hold on a second, I need to fix up here. I need to actually concentrate and focus on what I need to do and be the player that I need to be. And he's done it, man. I've really been proud of his performances the last 2 games, man. I say at 8.
You said leader of men. You've been watching too much Die Hard, mate.
Mama said it was in FIFA. That's what FIFA said. I didn't say that. FIFA said that.
Okay. So what did you give Tierney?
I gave him an 8.
Fair enough. I was with you. I think I would have 7, but with Tierney, he used to do something that used to annoy me so much. He used to, instead of playing it in and then waiting for it, he used to get his head down, beat the man, and he always beat the man. He's never not beating the man. I always see him beat the man and then cross it into the box. And my thing with that is like, who's in there? But now he's gotten more discipline. He's more aware because the balls he puts in the box, Martinelli touches them, Lacazette, they might get beaten, but it's actually going to someone that's actually in there. So I feel you on that, man. I'm gonna go on to, who's next? Xhaka. Did he get a yellow when he stood over the ball?
Hey, listen, let me judge that guy because you just reminded me. Nah. No, but Xhaka is a clown.
Before you light him up, yeah. I remember when he did that, yeah, innit? And I see your comment in the chat. Your comment was, Xhaka thinks he's a bad man. He thinks he knows it all. He thinks he can't get touched. Something like that.
No, that wasn't me.
He said, "No, that wasn't me."
Guys, talk about Xhaka. I'm gonna find it. Go on.
All right, listen. All right, I'm not gonna give him the number, but I'm just gonna say something that really pees me off about Xhaka, yeah, is that, like Jeff said, when he's not on the pitch, we can recognize what we're missing, yeah, and where a player like him should be in the system. And then when he is on the pitch, he plays that part, but then there's the other side to him. There's the two-face. Who are we gonna get today? Who knows? We don't know who we're gonna get. Yeah, and the man that will pick up a yellow card like he did at West Ham. 'Cause I think he got a yellow card at West Ham or one of the other games as well, where I was just like, oh, he's back. It was just a stupid challenge. But Leeds, first of all, yeah, first of all, he stands over the ball. Yeah, he stands over the ball to stop them from taking their free kick. But he stands there for time. He stands there for time, bruv. And like everyone's ready to play now. Everyone's ran off and he's still standing there. And they're like, well, move. The referee's like, well, move. And he's just standing there. He's standing there. So they kick the ball against him and the referee gives them a free kick. And he's like, what? Bro, you're in the
just
way.
To add to that, Jimenez got sent off for something like this.
Exactly.
Just the other week.
He didn't even get a booking. He got a bly, yeah? 5 seconds later, he does that stamping challenge here on my man, bruv. He's lucky to be on the pitch. Are you mad? Bruv, man stamped down on him and said, what? The referee, he was receiving dough that day, bruv, because I don't know how he didn't get booked for that. That was a red. That could have been a red card.
He should have.
Sorry, go.
No, go on, Jeff. 'Cause I'm gonna say something after you. Go on.
Oh, no, I was just saying that his one is more like if it was a more high-tempered game, yeah, he could be in trouble. It's just that, because
trouble, bro.
We just got lucky that the game was kind of done. It'd be silly to give like the winning team a red card just unnecessarily. So that's why he got lucky. But the combination of the two, if he gets a red, what can you say?
But Jeff, that's not where it stops. Yeah, my man. Afterwards, yeah, the Leeds young lad, yeah, the forward, he then does a similar challenge. He just slides. Similar, which is it wasn't even as hard as it. I think Xhaka's looked like it was a bit more damaging because Xhaka's one was a stamp down and it looked like it was more on the metatarsals than on the side where my man was more on the hill. Do you know what I mean? So very similar challenges, identical. Who's running in the ref's face? Balling out to the ref about he should be showing cards to my man. None other than Xhaka. Who is this clown?
You can't write this, but Rash, I'll say this. Do you remember there was a game? There was a game where Xhaka got sent off for a 2-footed challenge. Who was it against City?
Yeah, just here.
Yeah, but he didn't touch my man. But because it was so dangerous, because it was a dangerous play, he had to go off, right? Did you see the one against Robertson from Kane?
Oh man,
don't get us on this one because this is what I've got to
very
speak about.
Lucky, but
that's exactly the same. They all said it. They all said
no.
That's a red.
There's additional reasons though, like as to why he didn't, and they mentioned it, which I was surprised about. But Sky said it. Well, Carragher said it. He said, or was it Redknapp? One of the two. They said if you were an English captain and Darling and whatnot, he probably would go. Because the challenge was out of control. Don't get me wrong, strikers tackles happen in it, but in this day and age, you can't do that. So
dangerous, bro.
He's gone over the ball. He's like, luckily, if Robertson makes a bigger meal out of it, then they review that a bit differently. He's just lucky he got an honest player too.
He didn't go to VAR, by the way, Jeff. He didn't go to VAR.
Yeah, that's because so if Robertson rolled around, Robertson was hurt, don't get me wrong, but if he made a big deal, if he was one of those more frilly players and he hit an attacker like that.
If it was Laka, it would have been over for him.
Yeah, because Laka's a roller. Laka will roll a couple times.
Yeah, he'll scream. Oh, yeah, we've been at Emirates. Heard him scream before.
Bro. Robertson did a crazy tackle, and we can deem that a red because it was dangerous the way he did it. Because where's the ball going? It's going nowhere but off the pitch, right? He got a red. I mean, he got a yellow. The guys upstairs said, "Go review that, bro. That's definitely a red. You need to go check that out." And he saw that was a red. Now, my thing is, we pick and choose. The refs pick and choose what they want to do. And it's a bit unfair. I'll just say that to the football.
Yeah, of course it is unfair. Of course it's unfair because Kane's was a blatant red card, and you know what? As it's been said already, it's because he's the golden boy. It's difficult to give them and their cards. We used to see it before with previous England captains. I mean, there was only like one or two refs that would ever give Gerrard a card. Gerrard was wild, bruv. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Sometimes,
He
but
got lucky that was in a different time. Because I saw a clip of Gerrard's tackles there, and that's my kind of football. That's the football I fuck with. I like aggressive, like football is on 10 every
Sunday
time.
league challenges.
Yeah, but some of those challenges in those day and ages, like we considered great challenges, it'll be off every time. Some of those challenges are nuts when you look at them now.
So my thing is, should Kane be this golden boy anymore? Because it's 2 goals in 12 starts.
Why isn't anybody talking about it?
Nobody. Why you not? Because if Sterling was to score 6, but then miss start next 3 games and didn't score, pundits will be slaughtering him.
Forget that. Even if it was Pogba, but Pogba didn't score in 3 games, Souness would be onto him.
Lukaku's been injured, right?
Yeah.
He has what, 3 or 4 goals in the Prem? 4. He hasn't scored. Getting slaughtered. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I think.
We talk about Kane.
We know why though. It's 1, it may be the favoritism tip thing. 2, it's because if we really want to be real about it, he's built up credit. That's literally it. Like when you have 6-7 years of being the guy, like it's not like he's just on the edge. It's no top 2 for years. It was Kane, Aguero. No one else is banging goals like that. So Kane really beats goals. Last year, what was it? 14 assists, 23 goals. So and last year was, it's not even arguable. That was Kane's best year ever in football.
Ever.
Like
Jose,
he was outrageous for the whole season. Like he didn't ever slow up. So when you have that plus your previous record of goals, you have some kind of leeway, and he's earned it. Don't get me wrong. He's earned that leeway. He's allowed, like, don't get me wrong. He should be slaughtered. He should be called out for not playing as well. But if we really want to be honest, if I'm not gonna say he's Messi. If Messi has an off season, Messi's having a quieter season this year, for PSG, it's 1 goal in League One, and a couple in Champions League and a couple of assists. It's not his finest season, but I'm Lionel Messi. 17 years of body of work for you to go and see I'm that guy. Like I'm the best ever. And so if I have an off season, it's the same kind of credit. Like you can't slaughter me. You can try. Obviously, it's social media, so things are going to be said, and they shouldn't go unsaid. But the reality of it is, I earned this. That's what a career is. Like when I've been successful, even if Tottenham ain't, individually he's been successful. So you earn a little bit of leeway. Like that's really it. Like his displays this season haven't been great at all. And there may be a reason for it, because it looks like he just wants to leave. Like that's what it looks like. Whether it will ever end up happening, we don't know. But he should be called out on his bullshit, because it hasn't been great since Euros. Even the Euros he scored. So go.
No, I was going to say, look, it's just definitely worth a conversation, because you're finding that this is having a heavy impact on Tottenham's season, and we need to get to the crux of it now. Is this something that he's doing on purpose to try and force a move, or is this him really taking a dip in form that people are talking about but giving them a blight because he had such a great season? You know, we spoke about when people sometimes hit such high form that it's such a peak that there's only downhill thereafter. So, or we just spoke about, look, people are allowed to have blips, and this is his blip, and he'll be back. But this isn't like Kane. Well, then again, it is like Kane. Kane has a slow start. The only thing is that it was kind of reversed a little bit. He kind of had a few goals early and then went dry. Whereas normally he's dry for ages. He doesn't really score a goal until October, November, usually in the season.
Yeah,
that's true.
So we might just be seeing a later version of that because he got a couple goals in the beginning. So who knows?
I think we'll know more sounds because I always want time for things, but if February, March, if it's still really, really bad, then what Rash said last season, he asked this question last season, is Kane
Yeah.
deteriorating or is, and that was while he was playing quite well. So we'll see. Like if, or that, I think that was at Euros, maybe one of the Euro games.
Yeah.
So if we see that he's still not in form, then maybe his body is failing on him. We don't know. At this current moment, I'm inclined to give him the benefit of the doubt because he's Kane, like, and he beats goals.
And
Don't get me wrong.
he did have an all right performance yesterday.
Oh no, that's his best game so far this season. And if Son is on fire yesterday, Liverpool lose. Like Son was unusually off. Like Son's touch is normally great. And there was a couple of chances where it's just like, all right, I don't know what's going on today, but the touch isn't sticking to you the way it should. Liverpool, that's just shows you that Van Dijk is the most important centre back for them because when he doesn't play.
No, go on. Sorry, go ahead.
No, so, I was just saying when he plays, when he don't play, sorry, it don't look the same. Like Conte is cold. He's cold, but he's still a raw defender. Like there's still things he does where, but this way, Kane doesn't score that goal yesterday if Van Dijk's on the pitch. He reads it better. There's no space for that shot. But Konate gives you that half a yard because he thinks he's quick. So he thinks you can make up everything. And it just don't work like that in the Prem, man. All people need is half a yard and you get punished.
Well said, boy, man. That's a lot there, man. Especially with Kane. But that's I think a conversation that needs to be had, I think. And maybe Jeff's right. Maybe we should give it a better time. Maybe we address it again. See how the next couple of games go. Maybe we address it in the new year. How about that? I think that's fair.
That's if they can get a game. Cool.
I think they're right. I think their COVID situation has kind of died down. I think they've got the majority of their players back in there, but we'll see. So Xhaka. I'll give Xhaka. I'm going to give him it's a 6 or 7 because he did get that through ball, which was pinch perfect to Martinelli. But then he did it.
It was fantastic.
I'm going to give him a 7. I'm going to give him a 7 just because we don't really get to see him. We do get to see him do good balls, but that ball to Martinelli and then Martinelli just opened up like he's a striker, man. Yeah. Anyway, we're going to touch on Martinelli. Let me not give him his props. I'm going to give Xhaka a 7.
Big up Xhaka. Being on this side of a 5. Well done. Oh my god.
Jack is one of them, man. Yeah, you look at him, you just want to slap him in the back of his neck.
Him, yeah.
Like, everyone's marking if I was his coach. Like, I just look at him, just like you idiot.
Right, there was one of them in school. Every school, bruv. Yeah, he was cool. You let him hang around with you, but every now and again you give him a dick.
Yeah. What's that for? Just being you.
He's saying for cool, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's funny, bro.
You've had an evil, bro. Cool. Jeff Partey, bro. Your bunny.
I'm gonna give him. I'll give him a 7. He played well. To be honest, he was kind of unopposed half the game. Leeds didn't trouble him once. He was just half turning, moving around with
taking
ease.
The piss sometimes, yeah.
That's my problem with him. Sometimes he does. He knows he can violate, and then he just violates too much. But I guess in this game,
there was one where he was running in a certain direction. Like it seemed obvious. Like he picked up the ball and it seemed obvious he was gonna go there, but it's like he went there. I was like, no, and he turned and he just done everyone like straight away. I was like, look at this guy. Look at him showing off.
Funny guy, bro. He's actually funny to watch. Yeah, I'll give him a 7. I think he played pretty well. But yeah, Leeds, man, they need to snap out of that.
They do, man. They need their players back. Rash, Martin Odegaard.
Yeah, do you know what? I've been very impressed with him over the last couple games, man. He's really a difference. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Having a player like him in the team. He's skillful. He can help with the build-up play. He puts in a great ball. He's intelligent as well. That ball that he put through to Smith Rowe, I mean, that could have easily, you know what I'm trying to say? But he knew there might be 2 legs coming across. Stop that. Let me just give it a little stink just in case. It's made it extra sexy. You know what I'm trying to say? It's just horrible, man. He's playing really good, man. Like, and in that game, I think he was crucial to nearly every attack that we had. If he doesn't deserve an 8, I don't know who does.
I like the fact you said that, and then Jeff actually brought something up when we were speaking about this. Jeff said he's an unsung hero, and people, Arsenal fans, will do this, and I hate to say it, will be looking at stats and saying, "But he only got 1 assist in these. Why are you rating him so high?" Well, he's the 3 assists. He made shit happen. He broke down play. He did the business. And for guys like obviously Jeff and Rash and myself, like we actually look at football. We don't look at stats. We don't see stats that in the game said, "Oh, he played well because he got 4 assists or 2." Nah, but 1 assist is good enough for us. But you watch the whole game, you understand that this guy, yeah. But you guys know what I'm trying to say, and hopefully people
the control in the attack, the way he brings the ball forward, the choice of where he puts the ball. He could have 1 or 2 options, but have another one we just didn't see, and he's seen it. It's just the overall intelligence and the way that he moves throughout the game. It's just really good to have that type of player at Arsenal because it makes a difference. It's weird. I can't find much more to say than it makes a difference. You can see it. Like,
he sets the tone, man. Even defensively, we've had this. I said many times I'd probably prefer Maddison before the season started. I was wrong. Like, I like Maddison. I still like Maddison. Maddison's a good player, but Odegaard just brings something different. Like he can press well. He sets the tone. Even when in Aubameyang, we know Aubameyang is not the best presser. He's far from it. But Odegaard would take that role. He say, "All right, you chill. I'll do it because you clearly don't want to do it, so I'll do it." So that kind of thing is the thing I like, man. Apart from the football, like the football, like Rash said, he's important in every attack, literally every single one.
Facts.
Do you think it's the Madrid influence? It's a different level of class.
It has to be.
He brings.
Been around a different kind of man, like. Modric's, there's Benzi's, there's Ronaldo's. He was there then, so this different kind of quality, man.
Yeah, facts, man. Big up Odegaard, man. Well, hopefully we see a lot more of that. I'll go for my Nigerian brothers and Saka.
Jeez.
Yeah, so at the beginning of the season, people were like, he's hit a ceiling. He ain't really active. They didn't really give him a chance, and I'm all about giving people chances and giving them time and stuff. And people were saying like, you shouldn't be comparing Xhaka to anyone like Greenwood or to Foden and everything. And he's hit a ceiling. And I said, you know how old he is? He's like 19 at this time, I think, or maybe 20. I was like, bro, what ceiling, bro? He's still got places to go. I didn't know he could run his head off right nigga like a headless chicken. I didn't know he could do this, but this is showing us stuff every game, something different, bro. Like, give it a rest and relax. Man, I'm giving my brother with that goal as well. He did, more time. You're running. You could tell he was hungry for a goal all game, and he's just running. He might not have got that goal, bro. Like, that was going to Laka. Laka did it, obviously, dead touch. He got it again, and he shot. I know the deflection. He had a
you don't score, man.
Come on, man. Come on. So I'm going for 8 for my brother, man. I'm praying he goes higher and higher, and he gets better because I like what I saw for the last 3 games from him, man. And I want him to keep it up. And certain man will say I don't rate him, but you know.
How did I start again? That was funny, bro.
That escalated so quick, bro.
That was funny, though. You know what it was?
I didn't even mean it like that, but then after a while, I was like, yeah, I mean it like that. Yeah.
Do you know what it is? This is what I hate about group chats, yeah? Group chats can turn the best of friends into enemies like that.
he's been hailing Saka for time. Now he gets corned for not hailing Saka.
Every time Saka's name is brought up, well, Jalil don't like him. You don't rate him anyway.
The funny thing is, man. I've been rating him so hard that, like, I remember Jeff telling me to calm down, like, Bob, he's 20 years old. What did you say? You said, Jeff, you said to me, why do you put him at a high expectation? You're just gonna upset yourself when he doesn't reach the potential.
We've had that argument bare times. So.
Yeah, do you remember? So and one day I said, he was shit today. And everyone was like, but you hate him. Why do you hate him? Bob, this is like.
Well, I swear it was my fault. I swear I was saying, I said, I think, yeah, you said something like, oh no, I'm
You
vexed
shit
with
on that.
Saka. He didn't play the other day, and I was like, yeah, well, you don't really rate Saka anyway. You know what I'm saying? And that's where it all started. I was like, what are you talking about? That's my brother. That's what I was like. He was like, that's my Nigerian. I was like, it don't matter where you're from. You don't rate.
Do you know what it is? I had a bias for Zaka. I had the same bias for him. I have a big bias for him because in the Nigerian squad. So I want nothing but for him to do the best, and I'll overrate him. That's something I do in it. But it was funny, man. But yeah, we got to the bottom of it. That was a funny day.
We had to handle that in private. Like, yo, Kazi.
I had to tell Rash, Bob, I rate him, fam. Like, why you drawing me out for? What have I done?
All right, but it was more like, hey, Kazi, are you really offering me out?
Who said that?
Are you really offering me? That's what I had to say to you, cuz. Are you really offering me out, bruv? Come on, bro.
No, come on, man.
I rate him. That's not how the convo went. I had to calm you down. Well, are we really going there?
Do you know what it is? And you know what makes it worse? Do you know what made it worse? I think the whole thing was when Rash does a voice note, yeah, because I'm like, what fam? It sounds like I put on smoke. But bruv, man, it's all love.
You gotta love it, man.
It's all love,
anyway.
Anyway.
It's the group. We've got a group of instigators, mate. Trust me.
Trust me.
We got trolls in our group.
It's dangerous.
Jeff, Martinelli.
Yeah, he's gonna get a 9 from me. Took those goals well, both of them, and the goal in midweek. He's finishing it like a real striker, man. I'll say this, man. Like, I'm glad he's taking his chance, and I'll tell you, he's got a good problem right now, man, because Aubameyang's the most senior in the squad. He's the guy with the big reputation. He's the one who notches. But the way these men are hungry, and Martinelli especially is hungry, he's probably not dependent on Aubameyang coming back. If you want to come back, great. Come back and be integrate with the squad again, like after the African Cup of Nations. But if you don't, I got this young boy here, and I'm ready to play him now. Like, it's been a past year, he hasn't been ready to play him, but it looks like Martinelli's snatching his respect right now, man. I like it. Like, took them goals well, playing well, their skills, good runs, good finishing when he gets in front of goal. It's great to see, man. It really is great to see. I just hope he can keep it up and stay fit, because that's the problem with him. Like, that's why the comparisons, because he was getting every young boy who was on fire in the Prem, he was getting compared with them, like the Greenwoods and that. And ability wise, he's there. It's just the consistency. Like, he's injured a lot. Then there's been times this season where he's played and he just hasn't looked good, and just because he's not on form or whatnot. But if he can keep this up, we got a real player, man. And he came from Serie B.
Look, bruv, what I've seen in him, like, before, when he came back off of his injury, because obviously he made a big name for himself, and there's one of the ones with major potential at Arsenal because of what he was doing when he was getting the moments that he could at Arsenal. And when he come back from injury, he wasn't in the form, and it just seemed like he was always trying to do too much. It's like he knew his ability and he just wanted to show that he still had it. He wanted to just show it all at once. So it was a bit erratic. It wasn't coming off. And it's just like things have just slowed down in his head a little bit. Do you know what I'm trying to say? He's seeing things a little bit more better. He's making the right decisions. You know what I mean? Rather than cutting in all the time, he'll take it line. Do you know what I mean? He'll take him to the byline and then take him again and then be able to pick out the right pass, which he is doing, or get on the end of the right balls and score some goals. I think Arteta's done really good with, if that is him, he's done well. If that is his coaching, if that's his coaching, he's done well. Like that. He did.
I think, what did he say? I think I heard it on, I think it was a Leeds game. I think they were saying that Arteta told him to slow down. Like, you play 200 miles an hour, like, slow it down and you'll be better for it. Yeah. And he looks better for it.
He does.
So it's good, man.
Rash, your guy, Lacazette.
You know, like Laka always does what Laka does. I think he had a better game in the West Ham game than he did at Leeds. But at Leeds, he showed what he's there to do as well. You know what I mean? And he always does the same type of performance. You can expect the same type of performance from Lacazette. Tries hard, builds the defense, wins lots of decisions, gets lots of free kicks, holds up the play, and is definitely pivotal to the build-up play as well. But my man, that's my guy, but he missed the penalty. He's too casual. I knew he was going there. I like when it's the same place he goes. Like I knew exactly what I was going to go there, and I go, do you know what? My man's gonna save it. He's Arsenal. He's gonna save it, bro. You know what I mean?
He did.
He does. He like it's too easy to see. He was too confident, and for that, he has to just get a 7 for me.
That's fair. I'm not gonna knock that, man. Now, one thing about Lacazette quickly is he's smart as well. When we talk about smart players, you need to know when to win a foul. You need to know when to dive in. You need to know when to grab the ball. He's so intelligent, and he puts defender. Me as a defender, I don't want to play against someone that smart, bro. I want to play against someone who just wants to run the head down so I can take him out. But him, he knows when to use his body right. He knows
He's
when
smart
to win
and strong. Like he's strong too.
He's the guy, fam. So, yeah, I'm happy with him. And yeah, he's strong. He's strong for a little guy as well, man. He's like half the size of them, and he's still putting up a fight. And like they're trying to drag him off, get him off, and it's still not moving. So, I'm happy with his performances.
Oh, the Nibis pen at West Ham, wasn't it actually?
Yeah, no, Leeds he just didn't score, but
Oh yeah, Leeds didn't score. Yeah. My bad. Yeah, my bad.
No worries. Emmanuel Smith, I'll do him. I'm gonna go for 6. I'm gonna go for standard because that's what I expect from someone who's got a fresh leg to come off the bench. But I kind of want to go up to a 7 just because of that interception that he did to get to his own goal. He intercepted the ball, played up to Odegaard. Odegaard ran and he didn't stop running. So I'm going to go for a 7. Just, I should say it was a standard performance, but nah, man, you don't do that. You don't win a ball and then kind of set up your own goal. And Odegaard's obviously perfect ball into me. He said, fuck it, I'm smashing this. Not placing it down the middle. Keeper ain't going to know what's coming. And you can't expect something like that. You don't expect something like that.
It's the fact he did it 2 games in a row.
Yeah.
He's off top goal scorer.
And that's what's really good to see because, like I was saying, you can have Odegaard to be a more technical player throughout the game when we need it, up to 60 minutes when we're not too sure who's going to be in control of the game. But when it's in the final parts of the game, when we either need to pull a result out of the bag or we know where we are in the game, he can come and make the right sort of impact that Arsenal need. Obviously, there's more to his game. He'll get first team football again straight away. Again, it's like Arteta's already told them from the get-go, look, beginning of the season, Smith Rowe's getting most of the games. Next part of the season, it's going to be you guys, and then you got to battle it out for the last bit. And it just seems like it's Odegaard's turn to be starting and Smith Rowe to come off the bench. But what Smith Rowe is doing when he's coming off the bench is making him relevant. He's keeping himself relevant, making like, yeah, okay, I'm down with this, but soon you're going to have to be making some serious decisions because
the pressure on.
I'm not sure you need me, but Odegaard is showing that we need him too as well. So it's really good to see.
It's actually the best problem, man. Like Odegaard is a technical guy. Smith Rowe's like the dynamic dribbler. That's like the fact he dribbles with both feet too. Like
shoots with both feet, dribbles with both feet. Dynamo type of player. Like
I like that, man. Like he's got a future as a number 8. If he can stay fit, and once we do eventually make the change to like a 4-3-3, yeah, he can do that number 8 role, man. He's good at like both sides of it. He can defend pretty well for a young player, and he can attack very well. Yeah, so it's good.
Yeah, facts, man. Facts. That's good. And I think that we should just touch on the 2 subs quickly. We don't need to touch on them. I'll give them both a 5 because we don't do much. But Mikel, for me, I'll quickly run through this one because we're running out of time. I'll just give Mikel it's Leeds, so I'm not expecting much. 7. I'm going to give 7 out of 10 because I think the majority of our players got a 7. So that's a standard. What do you boys think?
Yeah, maybe 6. Yeah, 7. Maybe 7. I think the West Ham game is the one where I'd give him more.
I think what I'm starting to like is that he's making the right sort of substitutions as well. He's not just doing it for time's sake. Doing the right players at the right time. It shows a lot of wisdom in the game. Do you know what I'm trying to say? I like it. I like it. Don't ruin it. It's gonna ruin it at some point every now and then. Arsenal's gonna hit some speed bumps, you know what I mean? But the fact that they've managed to achieve this level at Christmas. I mean, we're never here. Like we're always like, this is a hard period of time for Arsenal. It's like we've just done a weird thing. So, like, well done. See the new year in full position. It's good to see.
And we've got a game tomorrow against Sunderland. Don't know if you boys know. I saw all the young academy players in training. But just on the top of your head, I know you don't know who's going to play tomorrow. None of our first team players will be playing. I'll say that for free. None of the original 11 because we've got a game against Norwich on the weekend. But just top of your head, quick prediction. What do you guys think the score's going to be tomorrow with our second team players? So Pepe, you'll see, and a few others. Holding will be back in defence. Cedric will be playing. Ketia will be up top. So and we get a few younger. So what
might even be Balogun. Who knows? Well, as well.
I'd like to see him.
Yeah, because he's been playing really good.
Man, lighting up under 23.
Bruv, he's been playing sick, and like the levels of disrespect as well with his dribbling. I didn't even know boy could dribble like that. You know what I'm trying to say? So he's doing his thing. Players like Aziz and them and there as well. You want to see them on the pitch, but you want to
Patino.
Patino. You want to see these guys on the pitch. So
they will be on the bench 100% now.
Yeah, but it'd be good to see. I mean, even they got the right back. What's his name, man? Good little guy, anyway. But yeah, man. It'll be good to see the young lads. I think they can pull it out the bag. I think Arsenal always do all right in this competition when they play like this. So yeah, man. I think I pull it out.
What scores you going for them? Just at the top of your head. I know, sir. I don't. You don't know who's playing, but just.
I think it might be a bit difficult because Sunderland are a team that's they're a good unit and they've got a lot of players that's been in there for years. You know what I mean? So I reckon we'll win, but I reckon it'll be tight. It might be 3-2 or something like that.
Fair, Jeff.
Gonna go 3-0. I expect. See, these are the games where if I'm Pepe, if I'm not playing, I want to see you do something now. Like because you're not playing at the moment. These are the kind of games you should have plenty of energy. Go light Sunderland up real quick.
Yeah.
And just put yourself in the window just to say that I want to play.
Like he did towards the end of that season where he's come back and like he was playing these sort of games and lighting it up.
And just go light up quick. I would like to see that. I'd like to see Balogun play as well because I don't know whether the jump's too big to Prem. It's only been one game he's played, but it's worth a shot. Like why did we keep him then if you don't want to play him? So give him a shot, man. But yeah, I'll say 3-0.
Yeah, man, and the fact that Nketiah said no to the new contract, you know what I'm trying to say. I'm more partial. I'm more like inclined to say, I want to see Balogun than Nketiah, to be honest.
He's better. Yeah, Balogun's better than Nketiah.
Alright, cool. And yeah, man, we're at the end of the show now, man. So as I said, Don couldn't be here today, but the message is always the same. I think Rash will agree, Jeff will agree. Love always wins. We should be back. Hopefully, we haven't had one of these in a while. It'll be good to get at each other next in a debate show and debate something. So hopefully, God willing, we can sit down, myself, Jeff, Rash, and John, get some content on the table and see if we can have a debate on Wednesday. But we'll keep you guys informed and up to date, and yeah, we'll see where we go from then. But other than that, man, it was a great show as usual. As I'm trying to get all this stuff done while I'm talking.
Me too, bro.
But yeah, man, love, peace, and we'll see you soon. Take care. In a bit.
Peace. Salam.